Hello, my name is Tim, my company is Sports and Touring, and we are Jaguar F-Type specialists. The V8 F-Type originally was a rear-wheel drive car, and that, given the amount of power, made it a very exciting thing indeed, particularly in the wet. Jaguar addressed that by introducing the all-wheel drive V8, a car which has an intelligent all-wheel drive system that delivers power progressively to the front axle when and only when it's needed, either for straight-line acceleration or for stability and dynamics. It's a brilliant car to drive, very swift indeed when manoeuvring and sure-footed when underway. And we're always excited to list one of these fabulous machines, especially when it's like this one in Caldera Red, also known as Panjin Red. It has the panoramic roof, it's got the fixed aerodynamic spoiler, it has of course the design pack and a range of other options and equipment. And it's sitting on 20-inch gloss black Tornado wheels. It's in sensationally good condition, and I'm very excited indeed to show you around. There is the nose of the F-Type then, this beautiful design which has taken its place as the final ever internal combustion sports car from the Jaguar stable, ending a heritage of excellence in performance and engineering and quality which has lasted for decades. And what a way to bow out. The F-Type has been such an enormous success from the first batch of cars through the first facelift, of which this is an example, and you can tell that of course because we have the hockey stick style headlamps, as I tend to call them, the revised chin vents there, and of course we know this is an all-wheel drive car because the bonnet vents are there lower down and further outboard than they are on the rear-wheel drive ones. But coming away from the nose, the design of the F-Type really didn't change with that first facelift, and hardly at all with the second facelift either. We have classic lines, beautiful flowing compound curves, which hint at speed and performance and agility, and they make this such a visually appealing car in any paint palette, but really in this gorgeous Caldera Red. It is something very special indeed. And then we have the black accents, the chrome accents as well around the car. Here we have black badge pack on the back. We've got the beautiful chrome quad tailpipes and the fixed aerodynamic spoiler as well, which really adds to the look of this vehicle. It is a very visually appealing specification, and then when we look at the quality of this particular vehicle, it is exemplary. It's clearly been looked after very well. It has a significant amount of PPF, paint protection film, applied to the car at the front end in particular, and that is a clear film which is applied once the car has been very carefully cleaned and prepared, and it provides a covering layer over the paint, protecting it from scratches and stone chips and so forth, and doing a very valuable job in that way. So all round in fabulous condition. We've got these 20-inch Tornado wheels with the machine screw heads which you see there. They're decorative, not functional in this particular case. It isn't a split rim wheel, which you might suspect it would be given the machine screws around the rim there. And I ought to say that we have a variety of other wheel patterns in stock. So if you said, yes, love the car, but could I please have it on a different pattern of wheel? Yes, Jaguar made many different wheel designs for the F-Type, and we carry a significant number of sets of wheels in stock so that we can satisfy that kind of request. Pirelli tyres, by the way, P0 as specified by Jaguar, and excellent grip, road holding and efficiency from those. And I'll just point out the effect of the panoramic roof, not only for the occupants of the car in terms of letting light flood in, but the visual effect too, is that you get this run of dark colour over the roof, from the windscreen over the panoramic roof and down to the glass on the tailgate, and it's a very effective visual device too. Okay, we've taken a tour around the outside of this Jaguar. Let's now take a look in the cockpit. We'll supply the car, of course, with 2 remote key fobs and the owner's book pack, but there's no need to press buttons on the fob because we have keyless entry as an extra cost option on this F-Type. Little button there on the door handle, press that, and the car unlocks. The power fold mirrors move out into position, and we can take a look into this beautiful cockpit. Starting a detailed inspection perhaps with the door card, which you can see is in beautiful condition, pretty much as it left the factory, no marks or blemishes, in ebony leather with contrast light oyster stitching, as you can see. And then we've got the 12-way memory seat controls there, and the little label underneath on the speaker enclosure saying Meridian Surround, and confirming that this car has the top specification Meridian Surround infotainment system. Panning around, you can see the tread plate is in great order, and we also have the red seat belts in this particular F-Type, another extra cost option that goes really well with the paint palette on the exterior. And then these beautiful performance seats, again ebony with light cirrus, and you can see they have the beautiful perforated leather centre sections of the base and the seat back, and we have the R logo there embossed in the headrest as well, and everything in fabulously good order. Sitting down into the car, and I'll close the door and point out, as I always do, that this is an environment of art and technology. The ergonomics of the cockpit are absolutely brilliant, but it's also a very stylish and beautiful place to be. We'll start a detailed inspection perhaps by looking up at the panoramic sunroof. You can see it's a huge area of glass. Lets the light flood in, but if it gets too hot, just slide the screen across and that blocks the light out and keeps the temperature down. Then between the headrests there, we've got a handy stowage net. And coming down to the centre armrest there, handy place to put your elbow, but also it lifts up and you can see in there that we've got the 12-volt socket, USB sockets, and the micro SIM card slot as well for mobile data. Forward from there, and we have twin cup holders with the little recess that takes one of those small drinks cans as well. And to explore further, we'll fire up the supercharged V8. So my finger is on the start button, my foot is on the brake pedal, and we'll watch the instruments do their self-test flying display as we start up the engine, and the revs settle down there, as you see, to just around 1350 RPM. That is to enable the catalytic converter to warm up appropriately. It'll settle down to the normal idle speed very shortly. And you also saw, I hope, the centre air vent rising up into the correct operating position. Okay, back to the centre console, and you'll see that we've got the big Eco Stop Start Defeat button there. Ordinarily, we would also have a button there for the deployable spoiler, but because this car has the fixed spoiler, it doesn't have that button. Then we've got traction control off and the switched active sports exhaust button. That opens those exhaust valves which give you that throatier note from the engine. And then the electronic parking brake, which pretty well takes care of you by itself. It releases automatically as you drive off, and it has hill start assist, of course. There's the on-off button and volume control for the media system, and then this gorgeous shift stick. It's a beautiful piece of design, it falls perfectly to the hand. There's a trigger there on the front which enables you to activate it and to move from park into drive like so. And then while you're in drive, you can go sideways like that into sports gearbox mode, and in this mode you can shift up and down using the shift stick if you wish, like so. I prefer to use the flappy paddles on the steering wheel because then my hands are on the wheel as I'm manoeuvring and I'm in complete control of the vehicle. Okay, back over to the shift stick, and to select park, very simply press the button and it takes care of the rest. Then next to that, we've got the driving mode selector switch. At the moment we're in standard mode. We can go forward into rain, ice and snow mode, or rearward into dynamic driving mode. You can see the exhaust valves have opened as we've done that. You can hear the slightly throatier exhaust note, I hope. And you'll also see there that the instrument binnacle backlighting has turned red to indicate that we're in dynamic driving mode. Okay, back down to the centre console, you can see we've got a 12-volt supply there, we've got the start-stop button there, and then the climate control section. So dual zone climate, passenger dials in the temperature there, driver dials in the temperature there, and we've got auto, air conditioning, timed recirculation, there's the hazard warning light switch, and then the heated windscreen, so front and rear windscreens heated, including the electrically heated front windscreen with those little wires running through it, which clear it so rapidly in cold weather. Speaking of cold weather, tap either of these rotary dials for seat heating for driver and passenger, or seat cooling if you need it in the winter, in the summer rather, as well. And then up from there to the infotainment screen. It's a big screen. It's the facelift screen, of course, a very clear display, crisp display. You can see here that we have the home page with navigation first of all. Nobody signed into the car at the moment. If you purchase the car, then you'll associate yourself with it with the in-control system, but I can still use the satellite navigation. We can still see that it's a very crisp and clear picture, and easy to interpret, easy to put your address for your destination in and all of those kinds of things. We go back to the home screen here. We've got the media option, and at the moment we've got DAB music playing. Other sources are available, of course, the iPhone for Bluetooth, and online media as well. Okay, we go back a page and back a page again to the home screen, and you can see that we've got Bluetooth telephony, very crisp and clear, very easy to use. Making and receiving calls in the F-Type is an absolute doddle. We can swipe right for the My Home 1 screen, and here you can customize this page with any of the shortcuts that you will be using most frequently, things like your favorite radio station or instructing the sat-nav to guide you home and so forth. We'll swipe left to go back to the home page, and swipe left again for the extra features page, and this is extra features page 1. You can see we've got a range of options here, including CarPlay. Have a look at the photos. Pleased to see CarPlay in action in this car. It's a lovely big screen for CarPlay and works really well. I tend to use it a lot with my satellite navigation app and so forth when I'm driving. And then we can swipe left again to see that we have Dynamic Eye. Now this is the mode in which, in dynamic driving mode, we can select between the different options for engine, gear shift, steering and suspension, between comfort and dynamic in each case. And also from here we can go to the stopwatch with the lap timer, the G meter, and also the pedal position indicator. If I squeeze some more brake on there, you'll see that, and there's a graph as well that shows the activity on the pedals. Very useful if you do a track day with an instructor who wants to debrief you about getting the most out of this very powerful car. Okay, we can go back now to the home page again, and we'll go to the second extra features page to look at the ambient lighting, but that only works if we're not in dynamic mode. So I'll come out of dynamic driving mode now, and we can see that the ambient lighting page here enables us to change the color of the lighting around the car. So you see it's red at the moment. If I now tap the blue option, it changes to blue, and we can change the brightness as well. So very fully featured infotainment in this particular F-Type. Then we come across the steering wheel. You can see on the left hand side we've got the thumb pad here with the infotainment controls, Bluetooth telephony button. On the right hand thumb pad, cruise control and active speed limiter, and the button for the heated steering wheel. And it's so lovely to have a heated steering wheel in cold weather. It keeps your hands toasty warm from the moment you sit down. And by the way, this is not only a heated steering wheel, but it's the flat bottomed R steering wheel as well, the top level steering wheel available with these F-Types when they were configured from the factory. Then we've got the left-hand stalk, that is the automatic headlamps, and over on the right-hand stalk we've got the rain-sensitive wipers, and down here by my right knee you can see a little panel with the boot release, lane keep assist and rear fog light, and the dimmer for the instrument binnacle as well down there. And if you look carefully right down into the footwell, you'll see that we have the stainless steel pedals in this car as well. Very fully featured with options, this particular F-Type. And another thing I'd like to point out is just the quality of everything in here. This is the most beautifully kept car. There isn't a single mark, there isn't a single thing out of place in this cockpit. It is all in fabulously good condition and testament to the way that the car has been looked after throughout its life. Okay, we'll switch the engine off and take a look next in the boot. We can open the boot either with the button on the boot lid itself or with the remote, like so, and then it lifts up to reveal a very large space. When Jaguar designed the F-Type, they knew that it had to be a very practical car, and they gave it a huge boot in order that people who wish to have it for touring or even as a daily driver have enough room for all of their bits and pieces. It's an unusual shape, of course, so it favours soft bags rather than hard-sided suitcases, but you can get a bespoke luggage set that goes in here very beautifully and uses all of the available space very efficiently, and also looks great as you walk up to the hotel. The boot extends right out behind the rear wheel arches, so if you want to get golf clubs in, you can do, or other long items will similarly go in and then swing round to lie across the back end of the boot, like so. You can see that we've got this beautiful thick pile carpet mat in this particular boot. That's a lovely feature, and it is hiding this secret compartment just underneath the boot floor here, which lifts up like so to reveal an extra void there where you could put your motoring bits and pieces, particularly for European touring where you have to take all of that safety gear with you, of course. Okay, we'll put that back together and close the boot lid down, and we can come round and look at the passenger side of the car. And again, it's great news here really, because the door card once more is in fabulously good order. The tread plate, I dare say, suggests that hardly anyone has got in and out of this side of the car. And likewise, this performance seat is in pristine as new condition pretty well. And the rest of the cockpit round here, the centre console, dashboard, the footwell, carpet and carpet mat and so forth, are absolutely perfect. Okay, one place left to go on our tour of this F-Type, and that is perhaps the place that's most important of all, there underneath the bonnet. So there is the very large F-Type bonnet, designed like this for a number of reasons, certainly to save weight and for pedestrian protection, but it also makes life easier for the technicians because they just lay a protective mat down at the side of the car and then they can lean in and be straight into the engine bay for all those servicing tasks. And on the subject of servicing, I would say that the service record with this F-Type is extraordinarily good. It has been serviced very regularly, and given the very low mileage it's covered, I would say it's exceptional, in fact. All main dealers, apart from one oil service carried out by a very highly respected independent specialist, whom we know and know to be very excellent. Anyway, back to the engine, and there it is, the engine cover on top of the supercharger, on top of the 5-litre V8 power plant producing 550 PS, and that powers this F-Type through the ZF8 speed gearbox, one of the very best gearboxes in automotive engineering, from 0 to 60 in just 3.9 seconds, blisteringly quick, and on to a top speed of 186 miles per hour. And I always point out that as impressive as those numbers are, as impressive as that performance is, that is not the essence of the F-Type. The essence of the F-Type is the experience you have there in the driver's seat with your hands and feet on the controls, and the way it communicates to you about the machine and the road and your journey and the dynamic enjoyment of all of those things. That is the essence of F-Type ownership. Coming back to the engine bay, everything, as you see, in perfect order. We have, of course, inspected this car in all our usual ways. I've driven it myself a considerable distance. It is driving absolutely perfectly and is waiting, and I dare say if it could be, it would be looking forward to satisfying its new owners' every desire on the road. So thank you very much indeed for watching. It has been a great pleasure to show you this beautiful F-Type. We're Sports and Touring. We're just outside Andover in Hampshire, open 7 days a week by appointment only. You're very welcome to telephone, email or WhatsApp us if you've got any questions about the car, or if you'd like to arrange to see it in person or by video call. It'll be a pleasure to send you a link to our Google Drive. That's our online folder with higher resolution photos, which you can zoom in on, and PDF copies of important documents. If you've got a car to dispose of on your buying journey, we'll give you frank and honest advice about the best way to achieve the maximum value with the minimum inconvenience. And if you'd like to chat about finance, we can do that as well. We're authorised and regulated by the FCA, and we work with a really brilliant broker. Do please take a few moments to read our reviews in Auto Trader. I'm very proud indeed of the things that our previous customers say about us. And I'll close by saying thank you again. Feel free to like and subscribe to us here on YouTube, and we will look forward to hearing from you very soon. Contact details are coming next.